welcome to the Inclusive FinTech Forum. And for the first time ever, it's so inspiring and delightful to be here in beautiful Kigali.
If you want foreign investment, you need to develop a good domestic environment and to allow domestic companies to grow and do well. And that is an absolutely necessary condition to success, because nobody will invest in a country if the companies that are native, led by people who are born there, speak the language, know everybody, cannot succeed.
This FinTech is going to be domiciled here in the Kigali International Financial Center, but focusing on the bigger market of Africa.
As a country, we don't like to rest on our laurels because we know that the journey is still far ahead. And we are committed to continuously building the ecosystem for FinTech so that we can also nurture even more success stories.
Having diversity in the leadership and workforce of those FinTechs is a really important way to encourage FinTechs to focus on the women's work.
If you look at the global market today and look at the graph there, the emerging market growth differential to the developed market is actually widening. It's the first time in a decade it's going to get better than the developed market. So clearly there's a signal that the emerging market is definitely has a positive upward trend.
There's a big gap for SME lending. There's a big gap for in emerging markets. There's a problem of lack of credit information. And FinTechs have found ways to overcome that.
So as we think about solutions, it's really going back to the foundations of how do we encourage more young girls and women to pursue STEM education and STEM career.
Rwanda is committed to leveraging FinTech as a tool for economic empowerment and inclusive growth.
In the digital asset space, generally the technology is launched and then people utilize it for different use cases, and those use cases then are relevant to a person's experience, right?
There's always the common phrase that capital attracts capital, right? But now impact is attracting capital. And I think now for the first part of capital attracts capital, it's now understanding if we have entrepreneurs and young FinTechs who are seeking access to capital to be able to develop their FinTechs, to be able to have an impact, they need to have that readiness.
Because at the end of the day, markets matter. If you have an idea in the US, it's more valuable than having the same idea in Guinea-Conakry. Why? Because the market is so much bigger. So how do we give bigger markets to our entrepreneurs? That has to be part of policy.
If you were in finance a couple of years ago, like 20 years ago, it was really predictable for you, for your career. You will start by being an analyst and an associate, a VP. Today is totally different because I think the nature of the jobs and the nature of the work, as we are in the building phase, I think it's welcoming pretty much anyone. COVID has shown that today, the way that we are looking at jobs, the way that we are looking at skills and at people are totally different.
The students here, one thing I can say is focus on a few things, right? Focus on solution, be solution driven, right? It doesn't matter what industry you're in, whether it's healthcare, whether it's finance, whether just be solution driven. Think of your customers, customer centricity. And I think we also need to try to demystify the understanding that business is here and technology is here, right? So today and in the past, technology enables business. But as we are going with time, in the future, technology will be the business.
I believe that technology presents our continent with its 1.3 billion people, 500 million plus internet users, and 300 million plus e-commerce consumers, with a unique opportunity for inclusive development and economic growth.
I share your conviction that FinTech can bridge the existing gaps in financial inclusion, even more so with AI revolutionizing the worlds of finance, technology, and a number of other industries central to our development.
Financial technology and access to finance capital is of utmost importance to our quest to achieve accelerated economic and social development.
FinTechs are accelerating Africa's digital transformation, and the impact is evident. Across the continent, more jobs, wealth, and opportunities are being created To sustain the gains already made, we must forge stronger partnerships and build a more equitable, accessible, and sustainable FinTech ecosystem. Let me commend Tijan, Tiam, and the entire Rwanda Finance Limited team for the important work being done to position Rwanda as one of the leading international financial centers. The key takeaways, which I hope all of you will carry with you from this forum, is that all of us together can multiply our wins and many more people can benefit from this success.